The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today, Democratic members of Congress were blocked from entering the department's headquarters. Democratic lawmakers had met outside to protest Donald Trump and Elon Musk's plan to abolish the department entirely, as well as attempting to seek a meeting with the department's senior leadership. Lawmakers were not only blocked by security holding the front door, but also by Department of Homeland Security police seen in multiple videos from members of Congress. Lawmakers were told by security guards stationed outside that nobody had accepted a meeting and that they needed an escort in the building in order to...
Elon Musk, one of the most influential yet controversial figures of our time, has once again made headlines with a statement that has sparked national debate. His recent claim that the United States Department of Education no longer exists has raised serious questions about his stance on public institutions and the role of government in American education. The implications of this statement extend far beyond political rhetoric, challenging fundamental principles of governance and public policy. In a recent interview, Musk argued that the Department of Education is essentially defunct and ineffective. While his statement has resonated with some critics of government bureaucracy, it raises pressing concerns. Does Musk propose dismantling the very institution responsible for overseeing education for millions of students? And more critically, does his stance conflict with the constitutional framework of American education? The United States Department of Education was established to promote educational excellence, ensure equal access to education, and provide critical funding for schools. These responsibilities are closely tied to the principles outlined in the United States Constitution, particularly the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. This clause guarantees that all students, regardless of socioeconomic background, have access to fair and quality education. Musk's suggestion that the department is obsolete raises serious concerns about the future of educational equity and access. Education is not just a public service, it is a fundamental right. Dismissing the necessity of the Department of Education could jeopardize this right for future generations. Musk's remarks have ignited a fierce debate. Supporters argue that the Department of Education has become bloated and ineffective, failing to adequately serve students and educators. They see Musk's comments as a call for reform and innovation. However, critics warn that his rhetoric undermines the federal government's role in maintaining education standards. Many argue that eliminating or defunding the department could lead to an educational system where access is determined by wealth and location, contradicting the constitutional promise of equal protection under the law. While the U.S. Constitution does not explicitly mention education, court rulings have long upheld the federal government's role in ensuring educational equality. The 14th Amendment has been instrumental in safeguarding students' rights, ensuring that public education remains accessible to all. Without federal oversight, the country could see a fragmented education system with significant disparities in quality and resources. The potential consequences of Musk's vision could disproportionately impact disadvantaged communities, further widening the education gap and threatening the constitutional rights of millions of students. The implications of eliminating federal oversight in education could be severe. Without a governing body to enforce standards, the U.S. risks a system where quality education is reserved for the privileged. Cuts to federal funding could lead to teacher layoffs, overcrowded classrooms, and fewer resources for public schools. Musk's position, while advocating for disruption, may unintentionally exacerbate the very issues he aims to solve. More than a debate about policy, this discussion strikes at the heart of America's democratic ideals, ensuring that every child, regardless of background, has access to a fair and high-quality education. Musk's frustration with the current education system is shared by many. However, dismantling or defunding the Department of Education is not just a policy decision, it is a constitutional issue that affects the rights of millions of students. Leaders must be held accountable for protecting the foundational principles of education. Reform may be necessary, but it must be carried out in a way that upholds the nation's commitment to equal opportunity for all students. The future of education in America depends on ensuring that every child has the chance to succeed. As this debate continues to unfold, we want to hear from you. Should the Department of Education undergo major reforms, or does Musk's stance threaten the future of public education? Join the conversation in the comments below and stay informed with Botleak, where truth is uncovered.